Hello and welcome. With this video, we are starting a series into Botany Optional, and in this series, through one video each week, we are going to cover different topics of the syllabus and we are going to do a syllabus analysis. The purpose of this syllabus analysis is to help you understand what are the topics and what are the questions which are important within Botany Optional. So those of you who are preparing for Botany Optional for the Civil Service or the Indian Forest Service examination, this series will help you gain a certain level of focus and direction into the overall syllabus. And with this focus, you will be reducing your preparation time, and at the same time, you will be getting maximum output for the effort and time that you invest in the optional. Through my earlier videos also, I have repeatedly been assuring all the candidates that botany is actually one of the easiest science optional that you can have. And in the last few years, if you see the result, a number of engineers who did not even study biological sciences in their senior secondary school, even they have got a reasonably good score and reasonably good rank with the botany optional. So irrespective of your background, if you are willing to invest certain amount of time and effort, and if you are willing to be patient, botany is going to be a rewarding subject as long as you are having a science background and you have a willingness to put in effort and time. So well, in this series, what I am going to do is to bring out one weekly video, and in this video we are going to discuss one part of the syllabus and the important topics and what are the probable questions, what are the probable areas that you should be focusing upon. With this, you should be going ahead with your self-study of botany optional, and the area will itself take almost a week's time to be prepared. And by that time, my next video will guide you for the next area. How I have organized this series? So I'm going to go ahead in this series linearly. That means I'm going to start with paper 1, and in paper 1 I'm going to start with the very first topic, that is microbiology and plant pathology. And once we are done with this, then we will be moving to the next topic of paper 1, and then next, and then next, and then we will be making a transition to paper 2. So in the very first video of this series, I am going to discuss microbiology syllabus and what are the topics that you should be focusing in the microbiology syllabus. So let's take a dive into microbiology. So when you look at the paper 1 syllabus of botany, the first topic is microbiology and plant pathology. So that is how it is written. But we have to understand that microbiology and plant pathology are two related but quite distinct areas from each other. And you need to understand as a serious aspirant that you have to do them separately. Plant pathology is a discipline that you will be able to understand very well if you have some amount of physiological understanding and if you have some amount of understanding of fungal biology. So do not treat microbiology and plant pathology as one unit, treat them as separate unit, and microbiology you can start your syllabus coverage with, but plant pathology you should be postponing until you have done two areas. To understand plant pathology very well, first and foremost you need to have done fungi under cryptogam, and the second area that you need to have done is plant physiology. So there are certain parts of plant pathology which depend on plant physiology. So if you do plant physiology before doing plant patho, you will be understanding the physiological part of plant patho very well. So in our discussion of botany syllabus, we will be taking up plant pathology quite late. That is after we have discussed the strategy of plant physiology as well, then we will be looking into plant pathology. In the meantime, you have this instruction again mentioned that plant pathology needs to be done after fungi, but you have to do not only after fungi, but you have to do it after physiology also. So now let us take a look into the syllabus of core microbiology. That what is the syllabus of core microbiology? So well, this is the syllabus of core microbiology in front of you. So there are two parts of microbiology. The first part deals with structure and reproduction or multiplication of viruses, viroids, prion and prion hypothesis, bacteria, mycoplasma and fungi. And then the second part of microbiology is basically application of microbiology in 4 areas: agriculture, industry, medicine and control of soil and water pollution. Now let us get into the deep of individual topics. So first and foremost, let us get into viruses. So under viruses, what you have to understand? Under viruses, first of all, for examination you should be preparing the structure of viruses, where you should be doing the ultrastructure of viruses, then different symmetries of viruses. So viruses have 3 types of symmetries. First is elongated symmetry, second is polygonal symmetry, and third is complex symmetry that you see in many bacteriophages. So all the types of symmetry, and then here you can be asked a standalone question on the structure of tobacco mosaic virus, especially a short note in approximately 50 to 75 words. So these are a small type of short note, but a question on tobacco mosaic virus has already been asked. The second aspect that you have to do under the viruses is the aspect of multiplication. With viruses, we do not use the word reproduction because viruses are not proper organisms. They are somewhere between the living and non-living. So a lot of biologists do not use the word organism for the viruses, and at the same time they do not use the word reproduction. So viruses multiply rather than using the word reproduction. So in virus multiplication, first thing that you should be preparing is outline of viral multiplication strategy. That's an important topic to be done. Second, a very important part is, so I'm calling it very important, is lytic and lysogenic cycle of viruses. And when you are doing lytic and lysogenic, you also do the difference between lytic and lysogenic. This type of difference has also been asked in the examination. So one is lytic and lysogenic, and second is difference between lytic and lysogenic. So that may be asked to you, you have to be mentally prepared. And third, about viruses, you also have to be prepared, especially when you are preparing for Indian Forest Service, is unique properties of viruses, because there are so many unique properties of viruses which make them distinct from the proper organisms. So the proper organismic world starts with the bacteria. Viruses are not proper organism, as I have already earlier mentioned in this video. So you have to prepare a list of unique properties of viruses. At times you may be asked a question on what are viruses, enlist their properties and give an account of their multiplication or give an account of their structure. After this, you need to do plant viruses in some detail. So next topic is plant viruses. Under plant viruses, type of plant viruses, types of plant viruses, properties of plant viruses. So there are many properties of plant viruses which are unique to them, such as most of them have elongated symmetry, most of them are RNA viruses, some of them are multipartite, etc. And then last topic, which is again important, is give me a moment, is the dissemination or transmission of plant viruses. So dissemination or transmission of plant viruses is another question that has been asked previously in the examination. So you will be paying a good attention to this. After you are done with the viruses, so then we come to the topic of viroids. So viroids is a small topic. There is only a direct question on viroid, and then there can be a comparison between viruses and viroids. So under viroids, when I say there is a direct question, so what are the facets that you should be covering? First, what are viroids? 2, their structure. 3, their diversity. 4, their multiplication. 5, plant diseases caused by the viroids. 6, control methods. So that is a general account of viroids. And second is a comparison between viruses and viroids. So that is a second question. So you should be preparing a table of comparison for this topic, and that should take care of the things. Next topic here is prions and prion hypothesis. So in prions and prion hypothesis, there are two types of questions possible. First type of question is give an account of prions. Second, a question can be asked on prion hypothesis. There will be certain overlapping parts between these two answers, but both the questions will have their own distinct requirement. So an account of prions, you have to give an account of what are prions, their discovery by Stanley Prusiner and Stanley Prusiner's prion hypothesis. And then the unique characters of prions, in what ways are they different from other pathogens. So that is what you have to do. Then pathogenesis. So when you are dealing with pathogenesis, what are the diseases which prions cause? So the prions cause, if you study, they cause a spongiform encephalopathy in mammals. So what are the diseases? What are the host organisms? What is the mode of transmission? And what is the mode of disease development? What's the mechanism by which prion diseases develop? So all of this, and lastly, although there is no treatment for prion disease, but at least efforts against prions. So this is the general account, and if you are asked to write about prion hypothesis, then here the focus has to be first what are prions, and then you will directly be going into the history. The initial episode of cattle spongiform encephalopathy, and then that encephalopathy spreading to humans. So the cattle had a disease called, when you study you will see cattle had a disease called scrapie, and the human disease was kuru. And from this history comes the third point, that's discovery. So discovery, as we have spoken, that discovery was made by Stanley Prusiner, and Prusiner gave prion hypothesis. So this part you have to give, and then you have to talk about main features of prions and how are they different. So that will justify how prions were introduced by Stanley Prusiner, that how prions are different, altogether a different class of pathogens. So that's something you will have to deal with, and then you will be concluding. In the concluding part you will be talking about their molecular mechanism as well. So that is prions and prion hypothesis. Next we move to bacteria. So bacteria part is a little big in the microbiome syllabus. There are a lot of subtopics that you have to do in bacteria. So let us see that what are the topics that we have to study in bacteria. First we have to study the structure. In structure, do shape, because the bacteria come under different shapes. Do ultrastructure. Apart from that, general account of ultrastructure, you should be preparing a short note on bacterial cell wall, another short note on bacterial flagella and how are they different from eukaryotic flagella, plus Gram's testing, then Gram positive and Gram negative bacterial comparison. Then in a structure only you have to do two more aspects. One aspect will be the bacterial genome and how does it compare to the genome of eukaryotes, and lastly you will have to do a comparison of eukaryotes and prokaryotes. So these are the things that you have to deal in bacteria. Apart from that, you will have to deal with bacterial multiplication. Do not merely stay confined to binary fission. There are other methods also by which the bacteria multiply. So you will have to deal with multiplication. And finally, a small coverage of archaea, which earlier we used to call archaebacteria. So that also we have to do. So this is the coverage of bacteria. Take down all these topics carefully. After bacteria, the next topic is mycoplasmas. So what we have to study under mycoplasmas? What are the aspects to be studied? First, what are mycoplasmas? Second, what is the taxonomic position of mycoplasmas? You might be aware that bacterial classification follows the classification given by Burgess manual. So in the Burgess manual, what are the affinities of mycoplasmas? That will be a pretty important topic for you, so you have to be prepared with that aspect. Third, unique characters of mycoplasmas. So uniqueness with respect to eubacteria. Fourth, diversity. Fifth, structure. Sixth, multiplication. And then a rather important topic will be phytoplasmas. So it is for you to find out what are phytoplasmas, how are they related, and how are they distinct from the mycoplasmas, because phytoplasmas are important plant pathogen. So prepare a separate short note on phytoplasmas. So this is going to be your mycoplasma coverage. And finally we come to, in diversity part, finally we come to fungi. So my advice is that fungi you should do separately under cryptogams, because under cryptogams you have to study fungi as altogether a distinct section. So there is no purpose served here to do fungi just as a chapter, whereas in cryptogam you will be doing several chapters under fungi. So here if you do fungi, it will be very superficial coverage and it won't be serving any purpose of yours. So my advice is, don't do fungi here. Fungi you have to do as an independent section. So that way it is a repetition here, and you need to do fungi rather in a detailed manner for your examination. So ignore that part and then you can jump to the second and last part of microbiology. So the second and last part of microbiology is applications of microbes in agriculture. So here you have to focus mainly on beneficial aspects, because notice that the topic is applications. So whenever we say applications, we essentially mean the beneficial aspects. So there are a lot of ways in which microorganisms are helpful to agriculture. They make nutrients available, they play an important role in nitrogen cycle, and they enrich the soil with ammonia, and not only ammonia but also nitrate, which is the major form of taken up nitrogen by the soil. Then phosphorus in the form of phosphate is also taken up by the plants very efficiently if the soil has got phosphate solubilizing bacteria. Then mycorrhizal fungi, which are pretty much microorganisms, they help the plants in better nutrient as well as water absorption and better stress tolerance, better protection against nematodes. Microbes help in maintaining soil texture, in maintaining soil organic matter, in helping soil retain moisture. Microbes are also helpful in biocontrol of a number of plant pathogens. And in the era of biotechnology, microbial genes, for example the gene from Bacillus thuringiensis, has been beneficial in developing resistant varieties of crop plants, for example BT cotton, BT brinjal, and so on. So all these aspects with proper example, whenever you are writing about example, writing about applications, be very careful about example. Application part cannot be written without good example. So that part you have to look after. When you are doing industry, there are two types of answers that you should be preparing. The first will be a general account and the second will be in food and beverage industry. So this is one industry which heavily depends on microbial process. So under industry, 2 short notes you have to be ready with. In medicine, you have to prepare a general account. Mostly they have asked a straight question on application of microbes in the field of medicine. But when you are writing this, you have to divide it into 3 parts. So this general account has to be divided into first diagnostic application of microbial enzymes, microbial products, second prophylactic application of microbes and their products, and third is therapeutic application of microbes. So when you do it like this, your answer will be very, very well organized and categorized. That will be fetching marks. And lastly, control of soil and water pollution using microbes. So obviously you have to use soil as one independent topic and water as another important topic. In water, you have to pay emphasis on wastewater treatment using microbes. And under soil, you have to do soil bioremediation. So that is how you are going to do the pollution control part. So once you have done all of these topics, so if you see these many topics we discussed, now it is hardly readable, but I hope while we were doing the discussion, you were also taking your notes. So once you do all of this, you will be completely safe with microbiology of botany paper 1, and this effort will be well worth its time and energy, because microbiology alone accounts for about 30 marks of question out of 250 marks paper in the civil service, and almost 20-25 marks of question out of 200 marks in the Indian Forest Service examination. Conceptually, it is going to be a very easy area. It looks like a lot of topic, but once you sit down to prepare, these topics are related and you can actually use one reading to cover many related aspects of microorganisms. Now, in the end, let me tell you about what are the books that you should be referring to for microbiology. So coming to books, it depends a little what kind of background you have and what kind of preference do you have. If you are looking for an Indian book which covers microbiology very well, there are 2 choices. So either you use Dr. P.D. Sharma's book, Dr. P.D. Sharma's Microbiology, excellently written book, or you can use Microbiology by Dubey and Maheshwari. These are 2 well written Indian books. There are other books also, but these 2, they touch almost all the topics which can be asked in your examination. And while you are doing these books, stick to the topics and subtopics that I have just now outlined. But if you prefer reading from foreign authors, then Prescott's Microbiology is an excellent source. So I would say you can go for Prescott's Microbiology, any edition after the 6th edition. So I'm writing 6th edition plus. So if you are comfortable doing foreign authors book, Prescott's Microbiology is your book. If you are comfortable doing it from Indian books, then this is the book. So well, that is all in this part. You should be getting down to microbiology preparation now, and we will be meeting soon with the next section's discussion. The next section that I am going to discuss is fungi under cryptogams. As I told you, pathology will come after we have also built a strategy for plant physiology. So pathology will be waiting, and in the next session, in the next video, we will be starting with cryptogams, which is the second part of paper 1, and within cryptogam we will be starting with fungi. So that is all in this video. I hope you found it helpful. Keep regular with this series. It will certainly aid to your botany preparation. So goodbye and good luck from my side. Thank you for watching.